And good day. This is the fifth podcast in this series of the weekly podcast for the week of November 8th. And it depicts the elementary school housing study that will be discussed this upcoming Monday night at the regularly scheduled Board of Education meeting here at 920 Baird Street at the KRC campus. Contrary once again to the rumor, gossip, and innuendo mill, the Board of Education is not going to close the building Monday night. What the Board of Education will decide, one way or the other, I guess they could postpone the decision, but what they'll decide is whether or not, after listening to the scope and sequences of various individuals that have bid on this proposal, whether or not they would like to do a housing study at the elementary level. That's all that's going to happen Monday night. If the board were to choose to do a housing study, then I'm sure we'd be looking for members of various community committees that the firm that gets a bid would be meeting with, developing their thoughts, listening to data. The board could say they choose not to do this, or the board could choose to delay it a month. I am hopeful that doesn't happen because, quite honestly, that would just put everything back another month. And there is a certain point in the spring, past a certain point, that I don't think it could be reasonably implemented if it were to occur. One of the questions that individuals have asked is that if the board approves a study and by and large the community says they do not want any of the buildings to be closed, modified in any way as far as students moving out, then could the board simply say that after doing the study they don't want to do anything at all with the students? Well, sure. All the questions that are being asked right now are the questions that would be answered by doing a housing study. So I appreciate the questions that people are asking. I appreciate the input, but this isn't 60 years ago or 30. One of the things that will happen under report of superintendent is a presentation by Mr. Lennar about budget, and the budget issue will be a podcast here a little bit later. So just so that there's no misunderstanding, Monday evening, 7 o'clock, the Holly Board of Education meets, and the decision will be, among other items on the agenda, but the decision regarding the elementary housing study, the proposed one, is whether or not they want to do a study. No more, no less. So I thank you very much, and I think there's just 2 more podcasts to come. So thank you, and we'll see you in the next podcast.